Race number 26 of the 2003 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season heads home for NASCAR. We're here at the Lowe Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina for the running of the UAW-GM Quality 500, a 1.5 mile intermediate race on a Saturday night under the lights in NASCAR's backyard. There are team shops literally miles from this racetrack, so this is a race that really all these local teams like Hendrick Motorsports or RCR, they want to win because it's their home race for the team, home race for some of these drivers as well. 42 drivers enter, and we know any of them have a shot to win with how crazy the Lowe's races have been in the past. And I'm joined in the booth by Trey Bartle. Once again, Trey, great to have you back. Unfortunately, you missed the last race at Darlington, but I don't think you missed too much.
No, it seemed like a pretty normal race to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I missed anything that exciting.
No, nothing newsworthy happened over the week. But let's start with something that was newsworthy over the week, and that was NASCAR's schedule change for the 2004 season. They released it. We had mentioned earlier in the season, Nextel coming in said we kind of want to have a more diverse schedule, some different racetracks on the schedule. Well, NASCAR delivered with that. We have 3 new tracks on the schedule. With we have the Myrtle Beach Speedway, that short track in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's taking over a Richmond race, and that's going to be run on Mother's Day weekend on a Saturday night under the lights. That's going to be a fun one. We have a road course race in Montreal. That's replacing the Riverside race, with Riverside closing down at the conclusion of the race earlier this season. So now NASCAR, for the first time ever, is taking the Cup Series out of the United States. We'll see how that road race in Montreal goes. And then we have Nazareth. We had talked about Nazareth, a very unique racetrack. The Busch Series races there. Well, now the Cup Series will race there next season. That replaces the first Pocono race and will be held early June. So Trey, 3 new racetracks, some tracks getting moved around. What do you think of the 2004 schedule that just got announced?
Well, they definitely did their thing where they wanted a more diverse and unique schedule. I think the tracks they added on are really gonna make that good, and I just like the variety we have now.
Yeah, it's a really good variety. I will say, gonna be a little nervous as a car owner for those first 3 races of the season, where we go from Daytona to California to then Texas World. That's 3 high-speed ovals that they can race pretty close together, get into each other, causing big crashes at those races. So we're going to hope that the drivers maybe keep it calm for those 3 races to start the season and don't tear up too much equipment at the start of the 32-race schedule. But now let's get to the big news of the week, and that was what happened at Darlington with Zachary Fitzwater Sr. in the number 2. Trey, you saw it from wherever you were watching the race, but Fitzwater came off pit road, was 2 laps down with an issue, and going into turn 3, leaving pit road, ran over Zachary DeLello in the 16, and it caused a massive crash in turns 3 and 4, including Chris Jericho in the number 18, who entered 3rd in the points. That dropped him to 5th in the points. On Tuesday, NASCAR announced that Fitzwater will be docked 50 points and placed on probation for the end of the 2003 season. So Trey, with what you've seen with that crash, do you think the penalty was fair for NASCAR, or should it have been something more, or maybe something less?
I honestly, I was kind of surprised that it was, what was it, 50 points?
50 points,
yeah. And a fine, or no? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I with the amount of, safety that was there, I'm surprised it wasn't a little bit more, in all honesty, but, I mean, it is NASCAR, and they do always have their reasonings for the penalty there, but yeah, Joe, that situation was, not the best of light for Fitzwater, and there was a lot of angry people after the race. Some were saying some things that I never thought would get to a level of that angerness, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And they said some unique statements. So we'll have to see how the field races Fitzwater from here on out, and hopefully Fitzwater maybe changes his way, but from his reaction of it afterwards, it looked like he blamed the 16. So we'll see what the dynamic is then.
Not so good for a driver who is a free agent for 2004, doesn't have a ride yet, and he really angered a lot of the bigger teams that have a car, right? You know, Hendrick Motorsports has a car, but will they sign Fitzwater after what he did right there with how he handled it? Roush Racing, he took out 2 of those cars to start the crash. I don't think Ross McTrain is going to want to sign him. And you had drivers, you know, Chris Jericho, Eli Bright after the race. Obviously, Eli wasn't involved in the crash, but his car, Sebet Oskin, was, and that then caused Oskin to be slow, and then that car flipped over in the second crash. Both those drivers, Jericho and Eli Bright, said, if no one signed him yet, I hope no one does. they basically just said, I don't want to race him in 2004, and they basically said this is constantly, Jericho even went as far to say he likes nothing about the series, he doesn't like the tracks, he doesn't like the drivers, he doesn't like himself, he doesn't like the teams, so why is he here? It all boiled over, and some people were even calling for suspension for Fitzwater after his actions. Now, something I will say about that is that it didn't look deliberate. It looked stupid, it looked dumb, it looked, uncalled for. I don't think he went in there with the intent to wreck cars into other cars, and some people had said, well, he wrecked championship contender Chris Jericho. But the flip side to that, Trey, we're going to Talladega next week. If someone causes the big one at Talladega and it collects first and second in points, should that driver be suspended?
No, I mean, that's just that makes no sense. That's part of racing. So you're telling me if there was a small incident, like two cars get around, but somehow first and second place get involved in one way or another, that they need to be that doesn't make any sense to me, Joe.
It does, yeah. So why would Fitzwater be suspended for something that was maybe an accident, right? It was dumb, it was stupid, but it was an accident after all.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I mean, people are going to have their own opinion on things, and it might be just in the heat of the moment situation as well. I mean, if you look back, yeah, it was honestly might be top 3 dumbest things that we've ever witnessed in this series. From it's a long history of dumb things, and don't worry, I've been a part of those too. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is not a good look on, it definitely hurts the look of the sport and the drivers, but suspension is maybe just a little too far. Now, if he were to go out and do it again, then yeah, I mean,
yeah, if you don't learn your lesson.
That's almost like who was it? Stapleton, right?
Yep,
he did it a couple of times, and each time, it happened again and again. The consequence got worse. So we'll have to, keep an eye on him, and if things progress and he goes out and does it again, then yeah, NASCAR's going to look at it differently. But for now, I think we just have to move on to the next race, which is where we're at tonight, and we'll have to see how the drivers, are around Fitzwater.
Yeah, and unfortunately, not the race that many of these drivers probably wanted to go to after the carnage at Darlington, right? We had half the field in the garage at the end of that one. And here at Lowe's, it has a reputation for just as crazy racing, just as big crashes, maybe even bigger crashes at points. We'll have to see how these 42 drivers handle the Lowe's race here tonight. We'll take a look at the track facts quickly before we go down trackside for the Command. Beautiful night for racing, 71 degrees, some wind as well. This is a 67-lap race. It's just over 100 miles in length. The field window is 28 to 33 laps, so they can't do it on just one stop. They're going to be about 5 to 10 laps short of being able to do it on just one stop. They'll make 2 at some point during the race. However, we expect it to come under the caution flag with how these races have happened in the past. 24 degrees of banking in the corners, only 5 degrees on the straights. And how about some of these interesting facts about this track in general? 3 of the last 5 Lowe's races have been won by Joe Gibbs Racing. In fact, Chris Jericho has won the last 2. He won the World 600 earlier this season. He won this race last season. Can Jericho make it 3 for 3 in those races? He starts in 12th here tonight, and this is not a fact that drivers want to hear. Over the last 2 Lowe's races, we've had 84 cars start the race. But combined in those 2 races, only 39 have finished on the racetrack. So over half of the field in the last 2 Lowe's races have crashed out. We'll have to see. Does it happen again tonight? Is the race a little calmer? Remember, the World 600 last season had 1 caution flag for debris and no accidents. Will it happen again tonight? Will it be just like last season where we saw multiple big crashes? We're going to find out. Let's go down trackside, get the Command to fire the engines up for the UAW-GM Quality 500 at Lowe's.
Drivers, start your engines!
42 cars rolling here at Lowe's for the UAW-GM Quality 500. Let's talk about the man starting in 5th place, Trey, because this man has had a very consistent season, a very quiet season, and really maybe it all kicked off right here at Lowe's earlier in the season at the World 600. He had ran poorly, came down pit road, got some adjustments, moved through the field, and on the final pit stop took no tires, took fuel lead, got in the track position, got in the lead, almost held on for the victory, ended up inside the top 5 at the end. Can Eli Bright maybe go for it again, but this time at Lowe's, have the car to do it at the checkered flag?
Yeah, it would definitely be, could play into his favor here, but again, Joe, the main #1 story about this is you have to be able to survive the wrecks here just because they are so often and so big. So we'll have to see what this 8 car can do and if he can find himself up front near the end of it.
And then 2 rows behind him, Lathan Strickland in the 48. He's had a consistent season, was inside the top 10 in points for most of it, but dropped to 11th after the crashes at Darlington and dropped him in points. And Trey, he has not yet won this season. While his teammate Brett Cira has 4 wins and is dominating in the points, he said, us other 300 cars want what he has. Maybe tonight he can have what it takes to get to victory lane.
Yeah, that 25 is on something, and I would think that the other teammates would like a little piece of that too. So we'll have to see what this 48 can do, as well as the 5 and 24.
Well, the pace car is in the 5 to 24 at the back. Brett Cira, the points leader, starts in second. Riley to 4th in points, starts on pole. He takes the green flag. We're underway at Lowe's. Trey, I don't think the field wanted to see that 25 get clear from the outside immediately into turn 1 like he did.
Yeah, that was, he made quick work of that, didn't he? And now he's making a move on this 28, looking to the inside, but for the first time around, it will be the 28 leading the lap.
Riley's Bird to 5 points right there, big because he enters over 200 back on Brett Cira, so he's going to try his best to hold off Brett here and not let that 25 get to the lead. But Brett already fighting down to the inside as they exit turn 2, side by side with the 25 down to the inside, looking for his first lap of the night on lap number 2. It would be big right here for those 5 bonus points after starting in second place. Brett Cira to the inside and by Riley Spurgeon. He clears off turn number 4, and car number 25 leads the lap right here, 5 points, so that cancels out what Riley Spurgeon did on lap 1.
Now the real question is that will someone be able to pass this 25 again, or will they, just watch him drive off into the sunset here? I know the 29 of Kukulon is, Joe, he's still hungry for a win. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. He won, I think it was race number 6 last season, and has not yet gone to victory lane since then. So it's been a long time for Sebastian Kukulon, but lately this season he's quietly moved up in the points. He's up inside the top 15. He was outside the top 20 for the longest time. Now here he is. He started 3rd here tonight, has a good car in 2nd place, and is hunting down Brett Cira to turn 1. Cira goes a little bit higher. Here comes Kukulon looking low with Luke Rennie and Jordan Stout right behind. But now Kukulon trying to, around they go in the back. It's Nathan Stimpson, Colin Teague, Benny Lynn, and that was Joshua Harrison, and the caution will come out on lap number 4. Sebastian Kukulon gets by Brett Cira to lead them back around to the yellow.
Oh, is that almost a what we could consider a single car spin here?
I mean, it was as close as you can get. Colin Teague spun. Benny Lynn and Nathan Stimpson got collected with Joshua Harrison, but look at how clean those cars look. They look fine. As Mathis Wells, I think, has crashed under the caution.
Now, we've seen it a couple of times here, Joe, where these guys, they go from such a fast speed to having to slow up for the pace car in the back here that some incidences have been found, and looks like we might have another one here. I don't know if Mathis is trying to find who spun him or if he's just trying to get back in line.
Well, our cameras will find who spun him for sure, but look at the damage, and that's a driver Trey, 2nd in the points, 200 back of Brett Cira, and my oh my, once again, Brett Cira could leave with a bigger points than Keegan Thompson staying out. A few cars did, but look at, most of the field came in.
That's interesting, because we're only, how many laps? 5 laps?
Yeah, but once again, they're only about 5 laps short of making it on one stop. So if you pit now and you just get a little fuel, maybe 2 tires, you can probably make it on just one more stop from here, whereas those other guys, unless they're saving fuel right here and they know they can save enough, we'll have to see. As Kukulon entered first, he's going to leave first. Brett Cira, a little bit longer, is going to lose some spots. But the field is coming off, and everyone's trying to get out.
A couple of spots as well.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get off as quick as they can right here, keep that track position. There you see Mathis Wells repairing the damage. I think DeLello has damage, so the 16, the 20 might have been the 2 involved. They dropped the jack on the 20, get him away. DeLello's still sitting there. We have other cars towards the back that are trying to repair damage, but the cars that stayed out, we have 2 Evernham cars and 2 Hendrick cars. Big play for Keegan Thompson, who started at the back of the field, didn't have the track position. He'll be 4th for the restart, but Strickland, Lawrence, and Laura Chung up at the front of the field. Go check out what happened. Caution flag out here at Lowe's on lap number 4. A few cars go around at the back of the field. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2, and this is for last place, Trey. This is 40th, 41st, and 42nd. Joshua Harrison on the bottom, Teague in the middle, Benny Lynn up top. Harrison comes up the track just a little bit, gets into Teague, who then gets up into 2 Chip Ganassi cars, and BAM Racing, Chip Ganassi Racing, they have an alliance. And right here, one BAM car goes around, the other 2 CGR cars get collected. Stapleton does a great job saving it, so does Harrison. Teague, I mean, really, these guys didn't really get that much damage from what happened.
Yeah, I mean, at least this shows you that these guys race every position like it's for the lead, right? I mean, that's good to see, but 3 wide for last place is a little aggressive, don't you think?
It is, yeah. I think that was the only case of 3 wide we've seen so far tonight, and it was for 40th place, and unfortunately it caused the first accident of the night with Colin T going around. We'll go take a look from the same angle at full speed. And one more time through turns 1 and 2. As the 11 gets up into the 3, dodges on the outside, and it's on from there.
Honestly, they held that contact for quite a while. I thought they were going to save it, and then they decided to finally turn sideways and let go. But yeah, Joe, I mean, overall, pretty calm wreck for a place like this. But now I'm curious to see what happened to Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis Wells with DeLello in front, Kirchner on the bottom, slowing down for the caution flag into turn number 1. And
oh. So
that was Mathis's fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say that kind of goes towards Mathis, does it not?
Yeah, he just kind of turned down and hit Sarah Kirchner there.
Wonder what that's about, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know if they weren't near each other here tonight. And unfortunately, DeLello, innocent bystander in that number 16 car.
I've always said learn how to wreck people without wrecking yourself. I think that's just kind of a staple of the sport, but don't get someone else involved who's already been in a wreck that wasn't his fault last week and then get himself into another one. So especially under caution.
Yeah, poor DeLello these past 2 weeks has just kind of gotten bullied around here.
Yeah, so we'll have to maybe get a word with either Kirchner or Wells after this race and see what that's all about.
At the front of the field, Evernham and Hendrick lead the way. They are the only 4 cars to stay out. Laura Chung leads the UAW-GM Quality 500 on pit strategy. Coming back to the green flag, we'll conclude the 8th lap when we take it. At the front, it's Evernham Motorsports 1-2. They lead the way by staying out on the racetrack. Laura Chung with the lead, Noel Lawrence in second. Then 2 Hendrick cars stayed out on the racetrack. Lathan Strickland, Keegan Thompson. A big call for Thompson, who started back outside of the top 35. He had qualified back there, didn't have a good car in qualifying, trying to get track position this way, hope the yellows fall the right way, and he can keep that track position. He's 4th, and there's the first car off pit road, Sebastian Kukulan. He's in 5th. And you have Jordan Stout in 6th, Brett Cira, the points leader, in 7th. Then Mitchell Collins 8th, Keyshawn Richardson 3rd in the points is in 9th, and Luke Randy to the top 10, the 88 car with Conrad Evans in 11th. Riley Sprinter back to 12th from pole. How about your driver, Henry Guo, up to 13th, and really had a fast car there. He was around Mathis Wells when that accident happened under the caution. Then you have Eli Bright and Jason Albert with a solid day inside the top 15. Then Chris Jericho, Justin Atkins, Tim Gary, Nathan Baird, and there's Fitzwater in the number 2. We have to go a long ways back to find Mathis Wells with that damage to number 20. How fast will he be going? Then the 49, the 40, the 11, 33, 42, 16, all damage towards the back of the field. We'll see how slow some of those cars are. We'll see how these 4 guys that stand out, how they do on this restart. Green flag back in the air for Laura Chung. Noel Lawrence with a pretty good jump, looking to maybe jump to her inside to turn 1 and lead a lap for himself.
So Joe, I don't know if you had any play in this, but did you know about this strategy call?
Never would I have known any strategy call that the teams want to do. And you know what, though? Those 2 crew chiefs, they always find a way to do something different, right? Whether it's they short pit, they overcut, they stay out on cautions, they just always do something different. And here tonight, no different, as Lathan Strickland, who stayed out, looks for a second on Nolan Lawrence, as Brett Cira moves by Kukulan. Jordan Stout, the first car with 2 tires and a little bit more fuel, looking on Thompson as the 5 tries to block him off into turn 1. Stout gets the run, though, to the inside.
Now, all right, so we have a restart. We're all single file. Well, most of us are single file. We started single file is what I should say. We're going to be nice and calm now, right?
No, absolutely not. If anything, it ratchets up the intensity level now that you have some differing strategies and whatnot. And here comes Strickland for the lead through turns 3 and 4. On Laura Chung down to the inside. Lathan Strickland's going to lead this lap in the number 48 car, but his teammate and points leader Brett Cira moving up. He's up to 4th, but now Kukulan moves to the inside and forces the 25 up high.
I mean, look how fast these guys who came in on pit and got tires and such are cruising right now. And that's only after 5 laps, Joe.
Yeah, tire wear is big here at Lowe's. It's an old surface, it's a bumpy surface. The tires will wear out here over a fuel run as Jordan Stout, number 6, takes the lead. Kukulon moves up to second. Luke Rainey now looking for second. Nolan Lawrence trying to come back with Keegan Thompson. Here's Conrad Evans and Eli Bright. They had some issues last season, remember? Here they are nose to tail at Lowe's and moving up through the field together. Both those drivers are up inside the top 10 in points, trying to get whatever they can. It's amazing to say that Evans is inside the top 10 in points because his season has been pretty mediocre, all things considered, for RCR, but for the first time this season, he's up inside the top 10 in points and currently inside the top 5 on the racetrack as Luke Rainey wants his first win of the season. He now leads off turn number 4.
Ooh.
Contact for a second between Stout and Lawrence, but they kept it off each other for the most part.
That was almost a really bad situation, Joe. That would have been big at the front of the pack, but a very nice save by both of those drivers. Let's not do that again.
No, let's hopefully not see something like that. Heart rate already went up, and we're only 12 laps into it. Here comes Eli Bright with a good run. He and Chris Jericho trade the lead for a lot of the World 600 earlier this season. Now they're 3rd and 4th. Jericho started back in 12th place, the winner of the last 2 Lowe's races, Trey. Moving up now on the inside for 3rd spot.
He's always up here, Joe. I mean, it's not a shocker to see this 18, right?
Nope, not at all. He's always finds a way to the front of the field at any racetrack, and especially at Lowe's. He always finds a way to get up here and lead laps and contend for the win. Speaking of contending for the win, Stout, who won the World 600 back in 2002, is looking on Luke Rainey for the spot. Tim Gary, who had a fast car at Darlington but didn't have the track position nor the car at the end of the race to settle for a victory, had to settle for a finish outside the top 10. Started in 4th here tonight, moving up for 3rd on Chris Jericho with Mitchell Collins to the outside of the number 12 car as the front 2 stay single file. And again, Stout's looking on Luke Rainey off turn 2. This time I have the lane down the back straightaway to the inside.
Yeah, these two are just kind of almost in a world of their own, but Tim Gary's trying to come and knock on the door, and it looks like he is absolutely pushing to get up there, and he is going to be on the inside of Luke, actually coming off.
Oh!
Contact again!
But they save it again. Gary got wheels on the grass trying to save it, and Luke now is coming back for the lead in turn 1.
Well, that was a coincidence. Whoa, Stout went up the track big time there.
And here comes Jericho looking on Gary as Stout gets up the track. We're looking 3 wide down the back. Jericho thinks better if it gets back in line. How about the run through the field for Colin Lewis? Was the 2nd slowest car in qualifying, started 41st. He's up inside the top 10 for Melling Ultra Motorsports.
This is almost like a Joe. I think we feel like we say it every time, a mini super speedway.
Oh, absolutely. Lowe's, with all the crashes and the crazy racing and guys moving through the field, whatnot, yeah, it kind of is like a super speedway. 3 wide off turn number 2. Colin Lewis is being aggressive on Riley Sprintham and Tim Gary. Chris Jericho goes for the lead on Luke Rainey. Lewis takes 3rd. Nathan Baird is up inside the top 5 for Bill Davis Racing. He's up to 4th as Chris Jericho gets to the lead, and he'll lead the 17th lap here at Lowe's. Trey, there's too much to look at, too much to talk about.
Yeah, I'm trying to look out the window here and see as much as I can, Joe, but it's not working out too well for me. There's too much action going on in the track right now.
Colin Lewis to 2nd in that number 91 car. Matt as well, 2nd in points, is back to 33rd. The damage not helping him out. He's back with Colin Teague and Joshua Harrison. Slowest cars on the track with the damage. Zach DeLello is in 42nd. You have Sarah Kirchner in 41st, and then Nathan Stapleton in 40th. They are seconds off the pace, and DeLello's going to be the first car we catch as lap traffic if we stay under the green flag. Looking 3 wide again. This is for 4th. Jordan Stout on Justin Atkins and Luke Rainey. They nearly come together entrance of turn 1. Atkins gets through the middle. Rainey backs out up top. Stout still trying to stay to the bottom. And Matthew Burnett, who's not won since 2001, is moving up inside the top 10. Here comes Kukulon 3 wide on Brett Cira and Luke Rainey. Not the spot Brett Cira wants to be in.
This is not where you want to have 3 wide at. We're good.
Yeah, Brett Cira's happy with that for the lead. Colin Lewis is there on Chris Jericho. Into turn number 1. What a run through the field for Lewis. He started 41st here tonight, and on lap number 20, he leads the UAW-GM Quality 500.
I don't know what's in this 91 car, but it is absolutely cruising right now.
What's in the 22 car? Nathan Baird up to 2nd.
That is also true. This is, I mean, Joe, again, this is a place where if you know how to save tire, or, really, if you're just at the back of the pack, really, because you're going to go slower than everyone else, you can kind of work your way up here. As you can see, Jericho's now making a move back on 2nd place.
And here we go, Kukulon and Matthew Burnett as well. Jericho's going to take 2nd. Stout's going to take 3rd. Evan Hunter, Riley Sprintham go at it. Brett Cira's dropping back in the 25 car. He's going to find a way, maybe down the line, but I think Nolan Lawrence got the run with his teammate Laura Chung. They're going to move low. So Cira, at this point in the race, is falling back. And this this long run is not what those guys who stayed out wanted to see, because, Trey, they're within 10 laps having to come down the pit lane for their stop for fuel. So if we don't get a caution quick, the 19, the 9, the 48, and the 5, they're going to be coming in. And under the green flag, it could hurt them. It could drop them a lap down. And if a yellow comes out, it could strap them a lap down.
Well, it's not like we haven't seen cases where we should have had a caution, really. I mean, think about how many close calls we've had so far, but we'll have to see. I mean, with the longer run, Joe, these guys are going to become more unstable, and these cars are going to be harder to handle. So, I mean, that's either going to increase the chance for a caution with the side-by-side racing or decrease it because these guys are going to be more, careful with how they're driving around others.
I was going to say it could spread them out more if the tires wear out. We've seen that earlier this season at a track like Texas or at Atlanta where, we get a long green flag run, the field strings out, and then it gets hard to make passes, gets hard to get around other guys, and caution's out though. Just as we say that, the yellow is out. And wrecking turn 3 and 4. Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's upside down again.
Oh my
and
gosh,
so is
Henry!
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Well, Joe, I did say at the beginning of the season I either wanted good finishes or an upside down car. So
well, you got a car sitting over there right now. I hope they get to Lowe quick there because he hit hard.
And we also this car was upside down and he's driving away.
Yep, Smed Oskin for the second straight week has found himself on his lid, but has driven away from it this time. As now we're 23 laps in, about to complete the 24th lap. So they're going to come down here, but they can't make it from here on field, but they just have to come down for the tires. And once again, a big break for the drivers like, Thompson, Strickland, Lawrence, and Chung, who had stayed out. Now they get to come down with everyone. You can see all the cars involved. Joshua Harrison again, along with Benny Lynn. Your driver, Guo, we saw upside down. He basically just drove on top of the 81 car somehow, some way. And Jericho leads the field down in the number 18 into his pit stall.
I thought the 6 was about to run right into the back of the 18, in all honesty, Joe. We'll have to see what all goes down here. So, do you think there's going to be any jostling on pit road, or is it going to stay the same? I mean, this is going to be one of those bigger pit stops.
Yeah, so we'll see. Chris Jericho, Ford tires, and away he goes. Jordan Stout a little bit slower. Nathan Baird almost beats the 18 off pit road. Looks like Colin Lewis and Smash Kuklan are going to be 3rd and 4th. So the field mostly, Trey, pretty much holds serve. You see Brett Cira, the points leader. He is towards the mid-pack. They're 3 wide, so I think they're just going to tell him to wait, and they're taking a little bit longer on that number 25 stop here.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if they're going to be looking at something. I mean,
he's behind Mathis Wells now.
Yeah, so not. I don't know if that's a stop the 25 wanted, or if they're just trying to play it safe.
Well, Chris Jericho still leads off pit road in front. He's trying to get himself back into the championship contention. Enters 5th in the points. We'll go check out what happened. A big crash in turns 3 and 4, and 2 cars go upside down. Smedowski and Henry Guo with the big hits here in this crash. Well, Trey, as this crash was happening, we had talked about the 4 drivers who needed a caution, or else they're going to have to come down under the green flag early. Thompson was one of them, and I don't know if his car got away or if he knew he needed a caution, but he got into Max Davis, and this starts a huge pile because Davis hits that wall hard. He's now out of control, comes up into traffic. 3rd in points, Keyshawn Richardson gets collected. Bibi Ruiz. Colin Teague hasn't missed and gets clipped right there. So now Teague is going around in front of the field. He's on the apron trying to hold it down, but what goes down must come up. He comes up into Joshua Harrison's path, and it flips Teague over.
That's insane. And then he's up into the wall, possibly in the catch fence there, but Joe, as we know, how we saw it live, it does not end. Oh, these guys, I didn't even see these two get involved up here.
Nathan Norman and Conrad Evans hit. Then look at that hit. Harrison with Oskin. Guo nowhere to go. Going to run right into Oskin, go under the car, flip Oskin over, and then go over like you did at Texas in 2000, Trey. You went over some cars. Guo does right there, dismounts off, and lands on his lid.
Yeah, that does kind of look like me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Except I don't think I went over in mine. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
You stayed on your wheels the whole time.
Yeah. My eyes were closed throughout it too. So hopefully Glow's all right. I'll have to go get a checkup on him. But Joe, this is another one of those classic wrecks where it just goes on forever.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. This started in turn 2.
Yeah, and here's Keyshawn Richardson entering pit road. He got hit trying to enter pit road by Jude Martinelli. He was Richardson was trying to come down. Looked at Martinelli was coming down at the last second, stayed out, and he ran to the back of Keyshawn Richardson. And third in points, Richardson is done for the night. Second in points, Wells missed it, and Brett Cira is now at the back of the field with his bad pit stop. Go take a look at this wreck from a few more angles because there's a lot to unpack in the second caution of the night. All right, Trey, here it is at full speed. Here's Davis, right? Turn 2. That's where he gets spun. Just remember it's turn 2.
I mean, what a wild ride for the 21, first off. I mean, he's hitting almost everything except for the wall itself. I mean, he even hit the wall, so I can't even say that. Oh my goodness. And then these guys, Lowe's in the air, flying, doing some sort of gymnastics move. He ends up upside down. The 81 drives away. That's where Keyshawn gets involved with the 67. But, Joe, we thought we were done.
No. Why would this be done? Max Davis is driving away, the first car to go around in turn number 2. Takes the caution, but that car is all bent up. He brakes. Steering must have locked up. And he collects Stapleton and Evans even more.
This wreck. It started where again, Joe?
Turn 2.
And it ended where?
Turn 1. That doesn't make any sense, I know, but that's how it happened. We have a few more angles. We'll go take a look at them. I mean, this was just a massive crash, and obviously extensive cleanup still going on the racetrack. Here's another view from far away as Max Davis, Keegan Thompson get together to start the accident.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm counting the amount of hits the 21 took.
Look at Ormond and Evans. There's those hits. Here comes Whoa, look at that in the background.
Goodness.
But here's Richardson.
I mean, yeah, the 61 was, or the 67, I mean, was on the apron, like he was coming in. And Richardson must have seen that or spotted it, so he goes, all right, come on in. But then he decided to flank out like second. And I don't know, yeah, like you said, I don't know if something broke or the tire maybe finally gave out or what, but that's hit number, 9, 10, 11 for that, the 21 right there?
Yeah, he took a lot of hits in that one, and
somehow the car is still driving?
Yeah, but driving a lot slower. You can see now it's going like 10 miles an hour. I don't think it could have gone much faster, but finally the crash ended, and finally the leaders could come down the pit lane, and Chris Jericho leads them on and leads them off. Number 18 leads among the chaos here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Back here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway and JRTV, the second accident of the night has been cleaned up. Go back to the green flag with just 40 laps to go. These drivers are going to be about 10 to 15 laps short from making it from here. So if we get a yellow flag within the next 10, 15 laps or so, expect everyone to come down, make their final stops of the night here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Chris Jericho in the 18 still leading, trying to get those most laps led bonus points. A lot of cars to the garage. They're done for the night. Henry Guo, after taking his massive ride, will finish 42nd. Benny Lynn, Sebastian Oskin, who was upside down. Joshua Harrison, Colin Teague was also on his lid. Keyshawn Richardson, third on the points, will get 37th. Max Davis out, Jude Martinelli, and Conrad Evans. 33 cars left, running a lot of them with damage. Still have to see how slow some of those guys are. Like Stapleton has some pretty heavy damage, and how slow they might be, and if they might impact this race for the lead. Cira on pit stops dropped to 28th. He'll be behind Mathis Wells, who's in 24th. Well, Wells' teammate Jericho looking for his third straight at Lowe's in the lead. Nathan Baird for Bill Davis Racing in second, then Kukulon third, Lewis fourth, Stout fifth, Zidell up to sixth, Sprotube seventh, Atkins, Randall from the back after failing inspection, and Evan Hunter are the front 10. Back going, great jump for the front two. Kukulon from third, spins the tires, and might be under fire from Colin Lewis in the 91. Here comes Baird for the lead in turn 1.
This is, Joe, what'd you say to me under caution during commercial break there? That something about a lot of cars still left here?
Yeah, a lot of cars still left, and unfortunately a lot of cars still left because, I mean, I think about 10 cars that are out there were probably involved in that last crash and how big it was.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But for now, let's have some good fun, nice and clean, Joe. Racing.
Justin Zidell had to come from the back of the field. Like his teammate Keegan Thompson, didn't qualify all that well. Qualified outside the top 35. But here he is moving forward on pure pace. Up to third place, getting by Jericho. Kukulon wants the lead from Nathan Baird. Most of the field gets away. Brett Cira, though, is not in this pack, I don't believe. The 25 is out of it right now, back in 27th. He's 3 spots by Mathis Wells in 24th.
Yeah, so I still feel like the 25 is doing a safety thing there, just because he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't trust the field.
I don't trust the field either with what we've seen here at Lowe's in the past. Is Riley Spurgeon wants the lead from Kukulon. He'll take it off turn number 2. But here comes Jordan Stout in the number 6. He'll look for the lead down the back straightaway. And Justin Atkins, the king of 1.5 mile racetracks, he always wins at these types of racetracks. Here he is moving for second. Chris Jericho back down in line. Almost 3 wide. Nolan Lawrence was looking on Jay Randall, Nathan Baird. They sorted that out before the exit of turn 4. Randall, once again, a great comeback after starting back in 42nd place. He's now up inside the top 10 to 6th and gets down in line. Now looking on Kukulon off turn 2 for a top 5. And Justin Atkins is going to take it away from Jordan Stout down the back straightaway.
This looks like the beginning of the race, Joe, with how much 2 wide we're seeing right now.
Yeah, it's like the pace lap to start the race where they were just 2 by 2.
Yeah, it's so I mean that just shows you that they the wrecks have not affected these guys as we're a little bit of 3 wide in the back there. It looked like was that the 12, 19, and the 20?
12, 9, 91 are in that 3
right.
wide. 3 dodges.
Your cars are really close together.
Yeah. Luckily, I just knew Lawrence was at the front because he had those green numbers on the roof.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. That's smart, Joe. That's smart on you.
It's smart for the spotters to be able to distinguish because otherwise they'd be a mess when they're close together. But how about Jay Randall Trey from 42nd place? Midway through, he's now leading. He led that lap by just about a few 1,000ths of a second. So Randall gets 5 points after starting back in 42nd, but loses the lead quick to Riley Spurgeon. And maybe the most unpopular man in the garage is up to 2nd place. Zachary Fitzwater sitting near the number 2 car.
Say he still has to try to find himself, if he can find himself a ride for next season. So he still has to go out there and perform from week to week, Joe. And I mean, this is how you do it. Maybe the 2 most controversial men throughout the season so far is right by each other.
The only 2 drivers this season that have left races with less points than they entered with: Hernandez and Fitzwater.
That's I don't know if that's a history book you want to be in.
I don't think so. That shows that you've had some big penalties. As here comes Tim Gary on Riley Spurgeon. Trey, I heard from that camera angle there are already lap traffic up the road. I mean, there are some cars that are so slow out there that there it is.
Oh, yep, there it is.
That is Nathan.
That is a
big
speed. That's big speed differences right there too. So we'll have to. We're gonna catch him in the corner, Joe.
Yep, Tim Gary's gonna sweep around the outside. Is going to get held up next. Stapleton's holding the bottom.
Stapleton's holding both, actually.
Yeah, that's not good.
He is now turned into the pace car himself.
Yep.
Stapleton is racing as the pace car, Joe, and holding up everyone.
Now he's holding up the top lane. Thankfully, you let 1 lane go. Tim Gary got away to a nice gap, but Riley Spurgeon, he's like, I need to get out of this, right? Because right now, he's going to fall all the way to the back of the field. He forces it 3 wide into turn number 1, and Hernandez now is held up.
Everyone. Well, this brought Brett Cira right back into this.
Yeah, that's what Brett needed. So Matt Tuck, Roberto Crown Jr. You can see Jericho trying to get Lowe. He'll actually make a move on Fitzwater. Those 2 almost at blows after last race. Now they're 3 wide. No. Jericho's going to get in line.
Oh, he's squeezed himself in.
Yeah, he was like, you let me in line or else we all wreck. And Stapleton still, in the way of
holding them up.
Zidell and Fitzwater. Lawrence and Atkins finally get through with Hernandez. And now Fitzwater and Zidell, the last 2. And I guess since Zidell's taken Fitzwater's ride, he didn't want to let him down. And finally, Zidell can get down, but they're all the way at the back of the field, and they could be out of the running with 30 laps to go at the line. And we're going to catch Stapleton again if this thing stays green.
That was ridiculous. I mean, he held up both lines, Joe. I don't think I've ever seen a lap car do that before.
Remember,
he put his car right in the middle of the track.
He did,
and just stood there.
On a straightaway, too, of all things. Normally, you just pick a lane and let them filter through. But remember this race last season, Nathan Stapleton actually finished 2nd and was leading late in the race with a car that was nowhere near as fast as some of the guys around him. He nearly won here last season. Unfortunately, this season got involved in those both the crashes that we've had so far. And how about Mathis Wells, though, Trey? That damage, we were thinking that number 20 was kind of out of it, but here he is. When he's in this pack, he's doing all right. He's actually making a move on Eli Bright. That's for 11th place. So Mathis Wells with Brett Cira right behind him. As it stands right now, would gain slight points on Brett Cira. And he's trying to get even more spots with that damage number 20 car. It still looks like it could be a top 10 race car.
I was going to say, remember that he was on the inside line when we did catch that lap car, Joe. So he had a big jump there on everyone else who was stuck on the outside. So we'll have to see if he can hold up this position or if anything, kind of diminish what he would be running at the moment if that didn't happen. But Joe, this 25 is right behind him now.
Yep, and we have some battling at the front still going on. Strickland has caught Tim Gary. Stout has gotten through to 3rd. Collins to 4th. Thompson for 5th. Matthew might fall back to 7th as here comes Randall for 6th as they all filter through. Baird still holding steady inside the top 10 with Luke Rainey right behind him. Then we have Hunter, and then there's the front two in the championship. Brett Cira chasing down Mathis Wells with now 27 laps to go. The battle for the lead is closing in, but let's get to our Gatorade audience analysis, get it out of the way before we get to these final pit stops of the night. Last week we had asked what is the toughest race for a driver to run on the Winston Cup Series schedule, and I don't think it's any surprise that most of the fans, 80%, said it would be the World 600 as the toughest race on the schedule. Southern 500 didn't get much love, but I think after how the last 2 seasons went, it might get a little bit more love.
Might turn around a little bit there.
Yeah, it might increase. Here comes Strickland for the lead on Gary in turns 1 and 2. Mathis Wells up inside the top 10 to 10th with that damage number 20 car. Thompson for 3rd on Mitchell Collins as the front two in the championship goes side by side off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. This week for our Gatorade audience analysis, who is going to be the next driver in the Winston Cup Series to get their maiden win? Is it going to be Sarah Kirchner? Is it going to be Laura Chung, Ryan Wilson, or Nathan Stapleton?
That's a tough pick.
Especially tough because those 4 drivers haven't really had the nights they wanted here tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think this might be the first one, Joe, that I ever do this with, but I think I'm gonna opt out.
Oh, you're gonna.
I can't think of a good, one with backing to it. I'm gonna opt out this week.
Yeah, you're gonna take the money and run. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah. No one do. Wasn't there a song about that?
Yeah, there is. And Mathis Wells, Cira had passed him. Wells passed him back. Now they're both on the outside, dropping back. Spurgeon to 10th, Bright to 11th, and how about Matt Tuck? Tuck coming for 12th place.
I thought I saw someone in the back jump down. I don't know if there was contact. Sorry, Joe, I did not mean to interrupt you there, but when I see cars moving quickly in the back, I get nervous.
No, that's perfectly fine. Absolutely is. Tuck now gets to 12th, but now Brett Cira gets by Mathis Wells. And there's one of our options, Ryan Wilson. Wilson up right behind Cira into turn number 1 with Wells to the outside. Tim Gary and Lathan Strickland still separated by about a quarter of a second. Riley Spurley-Tube looking for a pass on Evan Hunter. That's for 9th place. The pack's still pretty much together here as they're coming back together after catching that lap traffic of Nathan Stapleton. Tim Gary holds the lead off 2 Hendrick cars, then Mitchell Collins, then Jordan Stout, then some Roush cars, and here comes Luke Rainey with his teammate Riley Spurley-Tube, Evan Hunter right there as well. And then here's this. Brett Cira had 12th, but now Ryan Wilson wants 12th, and that puts Cira back up top and way up the racetrack. Here comes Tuck for 13th. Oh no! Oh, Tuck gets into Brett Cira!
That would have been major news right there, Joe.
Yeah, from filling in for the guy last season to then maybe turning him out in the championship lead this season. I mean, Mathis Wells was just 2 cars behind that. Had to be maybe just going please.
That was, holy cow. That would have been something else.
We caught the 42 again while that was happening. Tim Gary lost the lead from it. Strickland got to the lead. They're 3 wide in front of Nathan Stapleton. Evan Hunter's going to back out of that. At the front of the field, it's now Strickland, Thompson, Collins, 1, 2, 3. Gary back to 5th. Stout gets around him. Robert Yates' cars go side by side, and Nathan Stapleton is dropping like a rock back through the field. Once again, that's the second time we've caught him, and this man, when we caught him, got held up. He has not made progress back. He had dominated the first part of the race. Jericho, though, stuck down in 20th place. Doesn't have the track position. The car isn't that fast back here.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you how difference in where you are in the pack really depends on how well your car does here with the amount of, air and the way it's manipulating the way your car drives. But at the moment, Joe, first and second in points right now battling each other as the guys for the lead are also battling each other here. It's a couple of guys who, honestly, at the beginning of this thing, if you would have told me they were battling for the lead, I would have been like, are you sure about that?
How about Mitchell Collins and Lathan Strickland, first and second, going for the lead and trying to get up here and get their first victories of the season. Collins has not won since Road America last season. Lathan Strickland hasn't won since last season as well, and moved over to Hendrick this season looking for more success, and has had the consistency but hasn't had the wins that he had at DEI. But now here he's bound with Mitchell Collins for the lead with 18 laps to go. They get side by side, and that slows them down. Here comes Keegan Thompson with a run, and here come the Roush cars. Oh, Thompson gets into his teammate! Strickland sideways, and once again, it's another save for Hendrick car off turn 2.
Joe, that was the same situation as the 21.
Yeah, with Thompson again getting in, but this time it's a teammate that he got into.
What is going on? I was just about to say, Joe, watch out for this third place guy. He may or may not have been the reason for the last caution, but he was about to be the reason for the next one.
I was about to say he was nearly the cause for the next caution. Luckily, Strickland saved it, but you have to imagine that there is unhappiness over the radio of that 48 car right now.
Finally, the two guys at Hendrick who have been struggling all season long are battling 2 and 3, but now they're second and falling back to fifth.
Yeah,
sixth.
I mean, how much tires did Strickland have to use up just saving that race car?
Think of how dirty the bottom of the track is, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wow. I don't understand how he saved that. I mean, an incredible save by the 48 because he was dead sideways.
Yeah, that was more sideways than Cira was, and I thought Cira's save was impressive. But Mathis Wells has gotten around Brett Cira, and Cira's dropped back through the field. Cira all the way back here behind drivers like Jericho and Baird and Balance Burton Crown Jr. So the 25 struggling on this long green flag run as the Hendrick cars have come down early.
You think they
and the 19.
You think they did that for pit reason or because they had a scare?
Well, I think they know, right? With so few laps left, take the 4 tires now, get the most of the 4 tires. This race had a green flag look to it. So you get the 4 tires now. Other drivers might try and take 2 later on. So this could play into some sort of strategy. But here they come now this time on pit road, and others are staying out longer. Eli Bright and Jordan Stout, they stayed out. They'll be first and second, but everyone else has come down for tires and fuel to make it the rest of the way. Stout and Bright are battling. They're the only cars that have stayed out on the racetrack. And Hunter Reed has.
Well, that's all right. Well, we'll have to see how that strategy works out. And would they coming down this time? It looks like I saw exhaust fumes coming out, or the exhaust flames of letting out the throttle. Yep. Here they go.
Yep. So they'll hit pit road, and then we'll be waiting on Hunter Reed. Petty Car has won this race with some unique pit strategy, but I think Hunter Reed has had enough. He'll come down. So Thompson, first car into pit road, first car off of pit road. We'll see where he comes out in relation to Tim Gary, who led the first group in. There's the group all the way up there leaving pit road. Tim Gary in the number 10, trying to leave in front, but it's Mitchell Collins with Matthew Burnett, and then Thompson up to speed with Lathan Strickland. They took tires a lap sooner than these guys, and Thompson might get to the lead from it.
He might not.
Oh,
He's going to struggle on the outside. He might get the run.
He got
He's
it.
Clear.
So Thompson to the lead, pitting 1 lap sooner. That's what a lap worth of tires will do to you on the long run at Lowe's. Stout and Bright coming off pit road. That hands lead to the 5. Strickland's up to 3rd. Gary 4th. Burnett is now 5th. Luke Rainey is 6th. Evan Hunter 7th. Nolan Lawrence is 8th with his early stop. There's Eli Bright coming off pit road. 9th place, it looks like it's going to be Matt Tuck with a top 10 to Ryan Wilson. Then Anthony Hernandez. There's Jay Brando. Mathis Wells is there. Chris Jericho's there. The 25 again with a slow stop, though, Trey. There's Brett Cira all the way at the back of the field again.
Okay, so I thought the first time they did it was because they were playing smart. I'm just starting to think they're struggling on pit road, Joe.
Yeah, that's 2 stops now here tonight, but they have not had the stops they wanted. And right now, losing points to Mathis Wells, losing some points to Riley Sprito as more cars are coming off on and off pit road. There's Justin Zaydell. I think that 24 may have had an issue. Riley Sprito right now gaining points on the number 25, but barely, because he's also had a struggling part of this run. Chris Jericho's gaining points. Mathis Wells gaining points as well. Colin Lewis flying on this set of tires. Remember, that car was fast early on. Hasn't been fast really since we caught lap traffic, but now Lewis flies by Eli Bright. There's Chris Jericho, one of the dominant cars of the night, and there's Mathis Wells, that damage, but still trucking in 15th place as 14th Nathan Baird just in front of him as Keegan Thompson extends the lead over Mitchell Collins to 1 second. Coming back around to 10 laps to go. The field pretty strung out. Kircher's a lap car with Hunter and Luke Rainey catching up. That's 6th and 7th. Burnett's gotten through. There's DeLello lap car, and that hurt Keegan Thompson. Thompson's lead went from a second to 3/10 of a second as Strickland gets around DeLello in a close manner. Collins is there. Thompson goes wide. They've caught Nathan Stimpson again.
Oh, well, at least they made it easier this time.
Well, will be easy for Strickland, though. Strickland.
Nope. Nope.
He's not going to be happy about that.
Nope. And then here comes Gary. He's going to go to the outside, but nope.
And we have more ahead as the field is now caught up to Strickland. That's about for 3rd. The front 2 are close together, though. If these 2 get side by side, they could slow each other up. The rest of the field could close in, and they also have Baby Ruiz to worry about behind. As Wells has dropped down to 16th now, that number 20 he's gotten past here. And Brett Cira still back in 27th place, the second to last car on the lead lap, but spots in front of him. He could gain like Hunter Reed, could go up to 26th and try and minimize any points lost. At the front, 8 laps to go right here. Keegan Thompson still leads, looking for his 4th victory of the season, but Mitchell Collins in number 12, hungry for his first win of the season, in second place, right behind him, about 10th back. 8 laps to go here at Lowe's.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'll be curious to see how these guys get around the 7, because he's not as slow as Staple, but he's still slower, so it'll be a little bit more difficult here, but we'll have to see if the 12 can capitalize on Thompson here, if he has any mistake getting around.
Right now, Thompson getting a little bit of a benefit of the draft as well from the number 7 car, so it's pulling him down the straightaways, and Collins can't really close him right here. Thompson's going to move low in turn 1. Ruiz gives him the lane. Is he going to give Mitchell Collins the same lane as well? It looks like he will. So the front 2 move low. Thompson maybe a little bit better where he caught him. Gets through traffic a lot cleaner. Thompson pulls away just a little bit. Collins gets clear in second place. Then you have Lathan Strickland trying to hold off for third place. That's Luke Rainey in the 88 and Evan Hunter in the 36. Third, fourth, and fifth. Going to come down to the wire here at Lowe's. Then you have Matthew Burnett right behind that looking for a top 3. Tim Gary's dropped off. Brian Wilson up to 8th. Stout down to 9th. Anthony Hernandez up to 10th. He's got by Nolan Lawrence. And then Mathis Wells is back here. Chris Jericho flying on this run, trying to get whatever spots he can. There's Mathis Wells, number 20, currently in 16th place. Brett Cira still down in 26th place. Wells would gain some points, and Wells now looking for a spot on Albert. Gets tight behind him, had to lift, and might lose the spot to Eli Bright. The 8 has a run, but I think Wells is going to be far enough ahead. 5 to go at the line. There's battling happening for every position, because a lot of these drivers straight back here, they're in this championship fight if Brett Cira continues to finish back there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cira, but it's opening, the eyes of a couple of guys up here, like you said, to, try to gain some sort of points on him here. As you can see, another little group of cars here battling it out, as well as they're slowly starting to figure it out here as the 36 is pulling away. The 88 and the 17 are still side by side.
Hunter to 3rd, Burnett to 4th, Rainey to 5th. Strickland trying to fend off 6th. Tim Gary gets to his back bumper. At the front, the gap between the front 2 stabilizes at about a quarter of a second. Thompson over Collins with just 3 laps to go. Orman would be the next car to catch, but he's a good ways up the road and going at a pretty decent pace. We might not catch him as they race down the back straightaway. Tim Gary on Lathan Strickland for 6th place. It might go on Luke Rainey for a top 5. Both MB2 cars very strong here tonight. Gary started 4th. Hunter started back outside the top 20, but they've come together here. Hunter in 3rd. Gary now in 6th. MB2 with 2 good cars here. 3 laps to go, 3/10 between the front 2. Thompson with a gap over Mitchell Collins. If he runs perfect laps, he get back to victory lane for the 4th time this season.
We'll have to see. I mean, this 12 isn't really, I don't think the gap's really changed over the last couple of laps.
Nope, he's not really gaining. He's just kind of stabilized right there, 2nd place, and I'm kind of shocked. He has a lap better tires. I thought maybe would come into play, but it has not so far. Thompson takes 2 to go with the same gap he has over Collins, 3/10 of a second between them. Hunter in 3rd, trying to fend off Matthew Burnett for a top 3 spot, but Luke Rennie's there with Matthew Burnett going for 4th place, and Tim Gary for the top 5 as Burnett slips back on the outside. Jericho, who comes in 5th in points, currently runs in 13th place, trying to get whatever he can. He's 3 seconds behind Matt Tuck, though, so I don't think he's getting another spot. Mathis Wells currently in 15th in a battle with Eli Bright for 14th place. Riley Sprague, who enters 4th in the points back in 25th, with Cira in 26th. The white flag for Thompson. Collins had gained, but not enough. One more time around Lowe's for Thompson, who started back outside of the top 35. He was the main cause for the 2nd accident of the night, spinning Max Davis off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. He might have to speak to that after the race, but it's probably going to be in victory lane as they come through 3 and 4. Keegan Thompson, for the 4th time this season, is in victory lane. Car number 5 wins at Lowe's. Oh my goodness, did you see that battle for 3rd?
Yeah, that was pretty close, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Luke Rainey and Evan Hunter down to the wire for 3rd place, side by side. But Keegan Thompson, Trey, it may be a little bit controversial, right? That caution, that 2nd caution, right when he needed one because he was going to come down the pit lane. But he wins it here tonight, and I'm sure there are going to be questions about what happened there off turn 2 once he gets out of the car and in victory lane.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but, this one might be one of those, are you sure you're the real winner of this race type of races? But hey, at the end of the day, he's the one going home with the trophy.
He is. The trophy, the money, and the points for winning all go to Keegan Thompson. And Max Davis may not agree, and, we'll have to see what all comes of it after the race. And if Thompson, says it was an accident, a mistake, or if he refuses to make a comment on it. We'll have to just check out. But the points have closed in a little bit with all the drivers that were trying to chase Brett Cira besides Keyshawn Richardson finishing in front of him and gaining on him here tonight. We'll go take a look at the finishing results. Keegan Thompson maintains the track position to win here at Lowe's. Mitchell Collins tried his best to catch him, but ends up in second. That close battle for third goes the way of Luke Rainey by a few 1,000ths of a second. Rainey gets third, Hunter Estelle for fourth, and his teammate Tim Gary gets a top 5 here tonight with Matthew Burnett in 6th, Lathan Strickland in 7th. Then how about the DEI cars? Ryan Wilson 8th, Anthony Hernandez 9th, and Jordan Stout with a top 10, the number 6 car. We have Nolan Lawrence 11th, Matt Tuck with a very solid 12th place finish. He had a good car at Darlington, got involved in that last accident. Great to see him have a clean car here tonight and finish up inside the top dozen. Chris Jericho, Mathis Wells, 13th and 14th. So a solid night. They definitely won a lot more, but Wells with that damage, Jericho with the lap traffic. They just things didn't go their way here tonight. Eli Bright puts all 3 DEI cars inside the top 15. Good run for Brando through the field, but struggled there on that last run. He ends up 16th. Berta Crown Jr. down in 17th. Colin Lewis 18th. Albert and Chung complete the top 20. Riley Sprague to 25th will gain a few points as Brett Cira dropped to 27th at the end, lost a spot to Hunter Reed. So Cira losing ground to Wells, Jericho, and Spurley-Tube. Eli Bright also closing in the number 8 car, so a few cars closing in and trying to get within a race of Brett Cira because we have some wild races coming up. We have lap traffic like Kirchner and DeLello lap down. Zidella issues on pit road, he fell lap down. Ruiz 2 down, Stapleton 3 down, he was very slow, and then 34th on down, out for the crashes we had tonight here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Is a chaotic race, but luckily once we got that second caution out of the way, race went caution free from there. We got some green flag racing and some good racing on top of that. As we take a look at the point standings, Brett Cira obviously still on top, but trades closed in. Wells and Jericho with top 15s with Eli Brett as well. Riley Sprague gained some slight points on him, so Mathis Wells, it looked like it was going to be a night where he's going to lose a lot of points straight, but ended up gaining a few points on Brett Cira.
That just shows you how quickly that can turn around. And when, someone like the points leader has a bad night on pit road, which we've seen, twice or 3 times a night, that it can really affect the way this race finishes out. And hopefully we'll have to see if they can get that fixed for, next week, or if they'll continue to struggle and the points lead might close up a little bit more.
Well, luckily for the 25 team, there is no pit stop required for the next race because we're going Super Speedway Racing where they have a full tank of fuel to make it the whole way without having to come down pit road. We're going racing at the Talladega Super Speedway for the EA Sports 500. Trey, that is we talk about the chaos at Lowe's. Well, carnage looms around every corner at Talladega, and for those drivers up in the championship fight, this is one of those big barriers that they have to get through in order to have a shot at the championship come the final 5 or so races.
Yeah, 100%. This is going to be one where they're going to have to go all out, Joe, to keep up with the pack, but at the same time, they're going to be on nerves the entire time looking out for that big one.
Yep, so we'll have to see how it goes at Talladega next week on JRTV. Sunday racing at the Talladega Super Speedway. Tonight, though, it's all about Keegan Thompson. Car number 5 wins here at Lowe's for the 4th win of the season, joining Chris Jericho and Brett Cira as 4-time winners in the 2003 season. Congratulations to he and Hendrick Motorsports, but tune in to JRTV next week at the Talladega Super Speedway for the EA Sports 500.